So good morning everyone, I'm Catherine Mason from Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind, and today we're delivering a session on an introduction to volunteering. So this session is all around volunteering with us at Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind. So we provide support to adults experiencing mental ill health across the Scarborough district, Whitby, Rydale and the Esk Valley. Okay, so just a couple of facts for you today. So mental ill health affects the way in which people think, behave and feel, and it can affect any one of us at any time. And 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health problem in any 1 year. And I do understand that's more like 1 in 3 during the period of the pandemic. So just a little bit about an introduction to who Mind are. So this is what we're going to do today. So we're going to cover the national charity Mind. We're going to cover Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind, what we do and how we do it, the benefits of volunteering, being a volunteer, the different roles that we have for volunteers. I'll go through a number of frequently asked questions and then our contact details right at the very end. So Mind is a national mental health charity, and its origins are back from 1946 when it was known as the National Association for Mental Health. Its first major campaign was in 1971. And the campaign was to clarify the policies and the aims of the organisation. And due to the success of that, in 1972, the charity was renamed as Mind. So what do Mind do? So National Mind provide advice and support to empower people. They campaign to improve services, raise awareness and promote understanding of mental health. And they also brief members of Parliament to inform debate and legislation. Okay, so they do that through information and support on their website. So you can see a link to the National Mind charity there, www.mind.org.uk. They also have a wide range of publications on various mental health topics, so on their website, and indeed we have a lot of booklets that cover many different areas of mental health. They also have helplines, the info line, which is an information line, and the legal line, which can provide advice and guidance around the legal side of mental health. And also Side by Side, which is an online supportive community, not to be confused with Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale's Side by Side, which is a different project, which is something that I'll come on to in a moment. So who are Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind? So we are a local independent registered charity for local people. So we are affiliated to the National Mind, but we are independent in our own right. And we provide advice and support to adults with mental ill health in Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale, and we've done that since 1962. We are responsible for our own funding, so in normal circumstances you will see a lot of fundraising going on to help us provide our services, and our main flagship project is called Side by Side, and I'll go on to explain a little bit about that project moving forwards. Okay, so what do we do? So our staff and volunteers support around 600 local vulnerable people every year, so people with mental health difficulties. We cover an area of 1,000 square miles, which is a considerable area, obviously, with a population of over 170,000 people. So we are a small charity, and we do have a small number of support workers that cover, as you can see, a very large area with a lot of people. So the main focus of our support is designed to help people to become healthier, to lead full and rewarding lives, to become more included and involved in their local community, and to reach their own full potential. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, our main service at the moment is Side by Side, and that service offers one-to-one support through our mental health support workers, and also the support through our trained volunteers. We also have a number of groups that work out in the community. So we have volunteers that manage those groups. We provide mental health training awareness, and that is to corporate organisations, individuals across the local community. And we also spread awareness of the mental health needs in our local community. So the vision for Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind is to have a community where everyone living with mental ill health experiences compassion, opportunities, support and respect. And our mission is to work in partnership to ensure that people in Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale have access to personalised support that empowers and enriches their lives. And we work to raise awareness and educate our community about mental health. So here are our values. Our values underpin everything that we do here at Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind. So autonomy, which is to help people to make decisions independently. Participation, so we provide support to make sure everyone is able to take part in opportunities, services and activities delivered locally. Uniqueness, to advocate and acknowledge everyone is unique and individual. Respect, to respect people that we support for who they are. Knowledge, to share our knowledge, that of our service users, experts and volunteers, and to seek to raise awareness and improve the lives of people with mental ill health. And finally, compassion, so everything that we do is with empathy and kindness. Okay, so this is a quote from one of our volunteers. So this gentleman has described Mind as having been instrumental in supporting me to engage to live in the community, regain his driving licence and improve his confidence enough to take up volunteering. So we do actually have a number of our volunteers that have been service users themselves and have gone on to be really successful volunteers. And Mind, as he says here, were the only organisation to help him to achieve what he wanted to do in life. Okay, so the benefits to volunteering. Okay. Right, so the first one we have there is to learn or develop new skills. So volunteering is the perfect way to discover something that you're really good at and to develop new skills along the way. To be part of your community, so all the work that we do is based in the community, and our volunteers will discover the importance of community involvement for people with mental health problems. Also that feeling of a sense of achievement. So by giving your free time and using your own talents, you will help to change people's lives. And to boost your career options. So 73% of employers would recruit a candidate with volunteering experience over one without. And if you are thinking of a career change, volunteering is also a really good way to explore new fields, improve your CV and secure a reference. And we do provide references to all our volunteers if they would like one. So if you're studying, for students who are studying in a related field, volunteering provides a context to studies and also provides relevant experience. So we do have a number of students that volunteer with us. And also learning new interests and hobbies, so sharing your own and also finding new ones. So through volunteering can be really fun, relaxing and energising thing to do, to have new experiences. So it's a brilliant way to get life experience and whilst helping other people in need, and so meeting a diverse range of people. We do have many different service users from lots of different diverse backgrounds from every walk of life. So that's a really great opportunity to meet lots of different people. Okay, so being a volunteer, so we couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. We couldn't run our side-by-side service without them. So our volunteers come from all walks of life, and our volunteers can be from the age of 16 plus, and we don't have an upper age limit to our volunteers. I know we have somebody on our books at the moment who's in their 80s that's volunteering for us, and we have had interest from a lady in her 90s recently who are an important part of the community and have so much to give. So there is no upper age limit for that. And obviously everyone brings their own unique set of skills and interests to us. And we try really, really hard to give the appropriate support and encouragement to help our volunteers to develop their own personal skills. We offer quarterly support and supervision sessions, and our volunteers have a strong voice in saying how our organisation should run and grow, and also how it can meet the needs of our volunteers. There are regular training events throughout the year that our volunteers can engage in. Right at the very beginning, there is a set of mandatory training sessions, 4 sessions that all our volunteers are asked to complete. And we also offer lots of learning opportunities about mental health information to help broaden knowledge, and also we help to make you new and lasting friendships and have some fun. So it's a fantastic opportunity to be a volunteer with us. So we do have many different volunteering roles. So here are just a few of them. So one-to-one right there in the centre, as I've just really been talking about, is our side-by-side service. We also have volunteers in the admin office. We have volunteers who run our group work. We have telephone and email support volunteers. We have volunteers that provide research information for us. That's normally students, college or university students. Fundraising, media support. So we're always looking for volunteers to help us with our social media channels and getting involved. And also the opportunity to become a trustee of Mind. Okay, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the kind of support that we offer through our side-by-side service. And it's an acronym that we use, and it's SEPIA, and that stands for social, emotional, practical, information and advocacy. So this is what our support is based on. So I'll just take each one in turn. So the social element to that. So if somebody is isolated or nervous about going out, one of our volunteers can accompany them. It might be that they'd like to go back to the pub, they'd like to go to the cinema, join an adult education class, a gym class. There's a myriad of different social activities that our volunteers get involved in, and that can help the people that they're supporting to engage in. Emotional, so that's around having a listening ear, and it can be, I think, as we all would understand, it's really important to have somebody that can listen to you. So especially if that ear belongs to someone who's chosen to spend time listening to that person, that's really important support. And practical, so that can be things like day-to-day activities like shopping, helping somebody to menu plan, filling in forms. It's always easier if you have somebody else with you to guide you, to help you to do practical activities. So information, so that's a volunteer who may be finding out information for somebody. So that could be around medication, it could be around information about staying on at work or how to get back into employment. And also information regarding courses and local support groups that might be available to them. And also advocacy. So this is something that our volunteers do get involved in quite a lot. So that's really to help somebody get their viewpoint across, somebody that might struggle to have their voice heard. So it could be, for example, an appointment with a GP, if that individual struggles to express what it is they need support with, a volunteer can go along with them and help that person to express their view to the relevant person or organisation. Just going to flick back a couple of slides now as well. So this one is around frequently asked questions. So these are some of the questions that we get asked quite a lot from our potential volunteers. So I shall just run through some of the answers to the questions. So first question, will there be an interview? So after you've completed our mandatory training, which is the 4 sessions that I talked about, there is an interview, but don't panic. It is a really informal chat with you to find out how you felt about the training, whether you think it's the right role for you, and whether we think and agree along the same lines as you. So that's all that is really. So how long is the training? So we deliver 4 basic training sessions of around 3 hours. We do have a couple of breaks in there as well. And we try to move those times to different days and different times to suit as many people as possible. So people that may be in work, people that may have children. So we do move those around a bit. And we also do training in Scarborough, Whitby and Drydale. So we do have the quarterly supervision and support sessions that I've mentioned, and we offer refresher training throughout the year in a variety of subject areas. So apart from the first 4 training sessions, none of them are compulsory, but they do help to widen your skills and broaden your knowledge on a range of topics. So next question, is there a test or an exam at the end of the training? No, there isn't. So once your training is complete and we've had our little interview, our one-to-one conversation, and make our final decision on whether you want to continue on to being a volunteer or not. So there's no test or exam. So what do I do if I do the training and decide it's not for me? Well, that's absolutely fine. It's no problem at all, and we won't be critical of your decision in any way. We just ask that you let us know that you've decided that it's not for you at this time. Do I need my own transport? Not necessarily. It can be trickier in some of the rural areas to use transport, but if you don't have your own transport, what we'll do is try to make sure that you're only matched with somebody that you can get to easily. So whether that's on the bus or on foot. And we can also help with the cost if necessary. So is there any ongoing support? Absolutely. I've already touched on the regular support sessions that we have for volunteers. There is also a volunteer coordinator that you can speak with. We have our support workers as well that get involved with our volunteers. We've also got less formal events, thank you events and social get-togethers throughout the year to give you an opportunity to meet and chat with other volunteers. So will volunteering cost me anything? So volunteering with us should never leave you short. We always provide out-of-pocket expenses for things like travel and activities. So you get to try new things at no cost to you. And with a one-to-one match, you'll complete an agreement at the match time on activities that you'll be undertaking with that person, and then we'll agree a monthly budget for you, and that's something that we would provide for you. So you should never be out of pocket. Okay, and how much time do I need to volunteer? It's really up to you. We can find volunteering opportunities that only take a couple of hours a month, up to 5 days a week. So it really fits around your own commitments of your own time. And you can also volunteer in ad hoc ways. So for example, you could be on a list of people who participate in street collections or bag packing, for example, now and then. If you are a volunteer in a one-to-one role, however, you do need to commit to regular meetings with the people that you're supporting. But this is something that we would agree in advance and something that would work around your commitments and the time that you have available. Just the last couple then, can I claim benefits while volunteering? Yes. Claimants of welfare benefits are allowed to volunteer without losing their benefits. However, you must make sure that you are available to meet the conditions of receiving those benefits. And we do recommend that you tell the volunteer coordinator that you are claiming benefits, especially if there's a chance your situation could change at short notice. So, for example, if you were seeking paid work. And the last question, can I volunteer with family and friends? Absolutely, you can. There's less opportunities for group volunteering, but some examples of where this can work are group volunteers for fundraising and events, and we'd welcome you to bring along your family and friends to help you with that. So the final screen is the contact details for Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind. So currently we are on Aberdeen Walk in Scarborough, and that's our telephone number and our email address and our website. And that's the end of the presentation. So it just leaves me to say thank you very much for joining me, and we really do hope that volunteering with Scarborough, Whitby and Rydale Mind is something that you're interested in, and if so, please do get in touch.